You're listening to Binging the Devil's Fruit, a One Piece manga read-through podcast where sometimes during the binge, we take a break, kick back, and put on a movie or TV special. And sometimes we even bring along friends. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Binging the Devil's Fruits. This is episode 67 of the podcast. I'm your host, John Mugiwara Jam, joined as always by my co-host, Jack Peanut.
Hey!
And after finishing the Skypia arc, I figured after the big arcs, and frankly after every major arc according to my outline that I have, I figured it's the best place to do like a movie or a TV special as a buffer. So before we get into the next major saga, there's one special and one movie that we want to get to. And today we're getting into TV special 3, Protect, the Last Great Performance. And I remember liking this one a lot because I thought the concept behind it was interesting and it was funny. I almost am willing to promise that it's better than the last one we saw because the last one we saw was not only forgettable, it had one very horrible scene.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully no pedophile villains in this one.
I'm not going to say one way or the other because I do not remember who the villain of this is. I just remember the concept and them running with it. So why waste any more time? You want to go watch it?
Hell yeah.
Oh, but wait. If you want to watch along with us, there's a way you could do that. And what way is that?
By subscribing to our Patreon.
Patreon.com/superbonusround, where for just $3 a month, you can get access to the commentary tracks for our reviews, as well as episodes for the entire podcast a day before they go out. So,
sounds good to me.
Well, then why don't we go watch it together? Head on over to Patreon, or if you're just here for the review, stick around. We'll be right back. And we're back. Protect the Last Great Performance was definitely better than the last one we watched.
Yeah, but it doesn't take much to beat out the last one with the pedophile villain. Was the villain pedophile? But I mean, that scene was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And it made me feel uncomfortable. And
that's a real shame about the villain in this one because as disgusting as that is about the villain from Father's Huge Dream, he's memorable. The villain in this one, he's Dime Store Waluigi, and he's not even interesting.
So you're saying the best way to make a villain more memorable is by making them a pedophile?
No, I'm saying the best way to make a villain memorable is to do something. He doesn't even have a fucking name. His name is Governor. Let's just get into the review. We'll go over it as we go along.
So this longtime actor Randolph is making his final farewell performance show. Oh, and the Straw Hats decided to go there, but of course, Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper, they all share the same brain cell, so they couldn't help but go backstage to the costumes and mess around.
Mm-hmm. And it turns out, not only is this the last... The lead actor of the troupe is not only an ex-Marine lieutenant, and not only is he retiring, one of his troupe members just suddenly leaves on his final performance. Real strange that she would just up and do that over a money dispute or something. We'll get into that later. But that leaves a gap in the opening, and sure enough, honestly, for me, was the highlight of the entire special. And what I remember most about it, the Straw Hats get cast in, as the parts that were missing in the play, and all fucking hell breaks loose.
Yeah, like Nami offers to pay the princess for 100,000 berry, which was a discount given her, and it was a disaster with Usopp trying to jam in as many lines as possible. Shanti playing Sanji playing a pirate who can't memorize any of his lines, and when his character is supposed to kill the princess, he couldn't help but lay a finger on Nami.
Because he can't hit women. Not even he can't even pretend to it.
Yep, and Robin thinks he plays a musical and overacts And Luffy just comes up on stage as a monkey, even though there's no monkey in the play.
He found a monkey suit and just danced for the crowd.
And Shaw mistakes the cue and accidentally damages the play.
Yeah, he works the bottom. He's like the stage hand, so he does like the turning of the backgrounds. And no one told him what the signal was, so he assumed all the chaos and disaster upstairs is the chaos, and he breaks everything.
So, oh yeah. Ooh, excuse me. But thankfully, Randolph, playing the Marine officer, gives a violent speech which distracts the audience from all the chaos. And during intermission, and Randolph's stagehands or co-actors inform him that Luffy is a wanted pirate, and that they're the Straw Hat Pirates. And Randolph is pissed because pirates killed his family, and he joined the Marines in the first place to bring them to justice.
And he did.
And he put on this whole stage show to inspire those who lost their families to pirates. Yes. And it leads to a fight between him and Luffy, where Randolph had to, it gets postponed during the fight, and Luffy almost injures Randolph, but manages to stand up. So Nami's pissed at Luffy. If not only did he get into a fight with an old man, but Nami confessed she used to think the same way until she met Luffy and the Straw Hats. And she's hoping they can do... Oh, sorry.
Plus, they learned from the other members of the acting troupe that this is Randolph's final performance. Not just because he ultimately decided to retire, but like he's getting on in years, and there was an old wound that he obtained during his quest to bring his family's killers to justice in his chest, and it's affecting his voice and his stamina. So that's when Nami really gives his life. He's like, you fought an old man, and you could have like permanently injured him more than he already is, mind you.
Oh yeah, so even though he's at the risk of losing his voice, Randolph's determined to give this performance. But all that, suddenly a Marine commander shows up and arrests Randolph, has been accused of using the performance trope as a front to sell weapons to pirates. And they find Marine weapons on board, incriminating Randolph. So as he gets dragged away, Luffy, of course, he's not gonna let an innocent man get blamed for something. And we find out who's arrested him. Someone by the name of Governor.
Yes, a Marine commander.
His name, or
I'm on the wiki right now. That is literally his name. His official English name is Governor. Romanized Japanese name, Gabana. You do the math.
Yeah, oh god. It's so dumb.
But
so, yeah.
He's not the highlight for me. For me, it's his pet chameleon.
Oh god, the fucking chameleon.
Who unfortunately does not have a name. I'm sad to tell you he does not have a name.
Yeah, like the chameleon just has claws all over him, has a bunch of real janky movements, even copies his movements sometimes.
But the highlight for me is his eyes are constantly bugging out. Like, you know, like the anime bug out things fall eyes. He's doing that all 24/7.
So yeah, it turns out Governor was an underling and working under Randolph who wanted to rise through the ranks of Marines. So he was the one who many years ago stole Marine weapons to sell them to pirates in order to raise enough money in order to make that happen.
Yeah, so literally what he accused Randolph of doing is what he was proven to have been doing during his time as a underling of Randolph in the Marines. So, do you know the phrase, every Republican accusation is a confession? The man lives this to a T. And he's literally just doing the exact same thing to him. But what's curious is how those weapons even got placed in the first... Because they found weapons on him, but no one really understands why those are there. Just yet, anyway.
Well, until it's revealed that those three actors who just straight up quit on Randolph were the ones who planted the weapons, and they even planning to testify against him in court to incriminate him.
I knew those characters were too well designed to show up for only 3 seconds.
Okay. So, as Randolph does but to further rub salt into the wound, Governor had this all planned to happen on the day of Randolph's final performance to bring it to an abrupt end. Which is a real dick move.
Yeah, but an ancient old grudge that he just can't let go of.
And suddenly, Luffy just appears right next to the guy, figuring him out. Probably not too much more than the chameleon that just spins on that chair. But Luffy gets thrown through a trapdoor, and he sends Randolph down on a trapdoor as well. But Luffy doesn't give up quick. He just uses his strength to break out of his cell, and Randolph insists he's not going to accept help from a pirate, but Luffy doesn't take no for an answer as he just carries him out as they make the jailbreak. And they return to the theater, but Governor orders his marines to fire the cannons on the theater, to which Luffy and the Straw Hats, they found to protect the theater, so they can keep the performance up.
And
so,
this is the very first time that, in recent memory, that the Straw Hats get into an actual canon naval battle with anybody.
Oh, yeah. And we just suffered quite a canon and battle of our own earlier this month today. Look forward to Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, when this episode goes out, the playthrough is already over and seen, so go check that out, too.
Yeah, so at first they do a good job of deflecting all the cannonballs. Luffy uses his balloon form, and Chopper's fur gets all puffy to the point where it deflects.
Yeah, guard point.
And Sanji just fucking kicks rated balls right at the cannonballs, while Zoro uses his what's the name of that move?
The 72-pound caliber Phoenix cannon.
Yeah, his sword cannon move.
Yeah, the thing he learned in Skypiea, which the arc we just finished. That's why I put the special after that. I was like, yeah, you didn't know that he did that until then. So it also aired. Skypiea was the last major arc in the anime to air in soft definition on television in Japan. So yeah, that's why I put the special afterwards. Not just as a buffer, but this is also when it aired.
Yeah, but things take a turn when Governor orders his men to instead aim at the pirates. So Sanji and Zoro's little lifeboats get destroyed. And at first, all hope seems lost. But then, Nico Robin uses her fucking Hana powers to subdue some of the mariners with a massive cannon, and even turn that ferry cannon against them.
Yeah, everyone's pulling off their best Bugs Bunny impressions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but case in point, Sanji sneaks up behind, and one of them lights a match, uses it to light a cigarette, then throw it in the explosives. But
what the cherry on top for that for me was the entire time he was doing that, he was reciting basic kitchen etiquette with not lighting a cigarette during an open flame. That's what made it for me.
Yeah, and Sanji also knocks all the Marines off their airship as well. And that's when one of the governor's men inform him that they're the Straw Hat Pirates. And Governor blames his underling for not realizing it was them sooner, and threatens to court-martial them.
And that's not even the funniest thing, because during the watch of this, I did not know this, but I found while we were recording. So his chameleon does not have a name, but the Marine he's chastising for not informing him does have a name. Would you like to know what this man's name is?
Yes.
I shit you not. Check the chat. The man who tries to inform the governor of what's the Straw Hat Pirate's identity, I shit you not.
No, that's so stupid.
Nope, I'm sorry. His name is Lego, spelled the same way.
Lego, my governor. So, Governor intends to hide the truth as well by putting a ton of evidence and lying about all the reports, but Luffy drops down and just punches him through the computer in the sky. And while all of that is going on, Randolph is about to finish his play, and during rehearsal, he always ends his play with the same line: "I will fight until every pirate is set at my feet." But right before he says it, he hesitates, and at first, you think it's because he lost his voice, but no, instead, he actually improvised, saying that the pirate as in the play actually disposed of a cruel and greedy princess who ruled the village with an iron fist, and says that he will fight against everyone who's despicable, anyone with rotten souls, and that he implores the audience that even if your loved ones are slain by evil people, you must forge ahead and live, which earns a big applause.
I'd say he got a standing ovation, but everyone was sitting down. But they did cheer very loudly, and they were in tears.
Yeah, so, Luffy and the Straw Hats decide to leave because there's still Marines crawling about and they don't want to get caught. But Luffy vows that he'll be back so him and Randolph can finish their fight. And Randolph making the same promise as Straw Hats sail off. And that's his special.
Yeah, that was special number 3. We'll only have like one more of those left before we get to those very specific specials that they made that are like remakes of certain arcs and moments. So, as per usual, after we do our little review, we have categories where we vote on our favorite parts and least favorite parts of the special. So, I know it's been a while for us. It's been about almost half of a year at this point. But who was the MVP of this special? And Austin, I'm going to let you go first.
That would be Nico Robin.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, using her Hana fruit powers to turn an entire fucking large cannon against the Marines. That was an amazing move.
Not to mention, during the play, she basically gave it her all, thinking it was a musical. That said, it was funny at the end. We're like, oh, is this not a musical? Nah, this doesn't deserve my best effort.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the MVP was Sanji. He effortlessly kicked all of those glass cannonballs at the Marine ships, and also that moment where he lights the cannonballs on fire while reciting kitchen etiquette was real good.
Mm-hmm.
So, who was the least valuable pirate?
I guess I would be Usopp, in my opinion. Like, he didn't do much during the fight, aside from trying to aim the Straw Hats cannon on the Golden Mary.
Well, because everybody was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, his whole thing in the play was he wanted to draw out his lines some more. But why? I don't know. He's the narrator. He's supposed to introduce the scene. He's not supposed to keep going. For me, my least valuable pirate, Zoro didn't really get to do much, I don't think. No, you know what? He didn't do much for the play other than wreck everything. Gonna have to be Nami. Sorry, Nami. You got a hot streak of being worthless.
Aww.
Like, yeah, she didn't really do anything in this one. It's a shame. All right. Best scene. I'm going first because I already said it. Sanji lighting the cannonballs on fire while reciting kitchen etiquette.
That was great.
That's honestly the scene for me. And I was half expecting you to go, oh, you took the best scene. No, I didn't. That's just my favorite one. Austin, what's your best scene?
It's the first time seeing Nami in that dress.
Really? I thought you were going to say everyone making the play a complete disaster. But that's
okay, I'm just kidding. It was Luffy coming out as a monkey and just trying to steal the spotlight with his antics.
My runner-up would actually be them trying to do the play, but everything just falls apart because they all have their own agendas. Which is the only thing from this special I remember, but I'm sorry, that lighting the cigarette. He like you said during the commentary, Sanji pulled out his best Bugs Bunny impression. And now for the worst scene. You go first. What was the worst scene in this special?
Okay, what scene? What scene? Oh, Jesus Christ. Why is this harder than I thought it would be?
Speaks
you go first.
Speaks good to how good this special is, huh?
Yeah.
When you're struggling to think of what the worst one is, and you can't even name one?
I mean, it wasn't a bad special per se. I mean, it was just probably because of how crappy the last one was. But what scene? The junk falling off onto Randolph? Maybe? I guess? Possibly because he's an old man? Yeah, I'm struggling, sorry.
Worst scene for me. I don't know. This one didn't really have a bad scene. It has a bad villain. It doesn't have any bad scene. You know what? For the first time ever in Bitch the Devil's Fruit history, skipping this one. This special doesn't have any bad scenes. They're either great or okay. We're pulling a mulligan. This is okay. Best fight. Who had the best fight?
Best fight. Let's see. The fucking cannon fire fight.
Yeah, our first time having a naval battle in a while, and I think ever again.
The Straw Hats and the Going Merry versus the Marine ships.
Yeah, usually with the Going Merry, like they're escaping cannon fire. This time they actively participated. Probably because this villain's a fucking joke. But hey, for me, the best fight was Luffy versus Randolph. Like when Randolph first found out that Luffy was a pirate. Man, my man's has a chest wound, is how many hundreds of years old probably, and held up his own against the man who fell a god and saved Alabasta. And even the Straw Hats were like, Jesus, for a man of his age, he's pretty good. And he's an ex-Marine lieutenant. Like, yeah, Marine lieutenants are nice, but they're not like vice at. Like, he still held his own with them. I thought that was impressive and slightly comedic, especially since he thought he got him, but that shelving fell on him. Is there a worst fight, or should we skip this one too? There really wasn't one. Okay, maybe there is one. What was it?
Luffy versus Governor?
That wasn't really a fight. He just punched him.
Yeah, it was just one punch. Yeah, that's why.
He got less dignity than Bellamy did. Not saying something. At least Bellamy had build-up and motivation. Governor is just a dick. And he just got socked once and then thrown out. I'm abstaining. There really wasn't anything else besides that. This was a mostly solid special. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad. But you know what is bad? It's time to rate the villainy of the villain.
Oh no.
How effective, how villainous was Commander Governor?
I'd rank him I'd rate him as a Waluigi out of Dick Dastardly.
No, that's too good for him. I'm sorry.
Okay, then I rate him as George Santos out of Mark Foley.
Sure. He's not a great villain. His motivation is real petty, real stupid, and unoriginal as hell. He literally just gets back at an old man for something that happened to him over 30 years ago. My man's held a grudge over old tweets from 2009 and acted on them. He's terrible.
Oh my god.
He's a Twitter reply guy out of Waluigi. He's bad. And then rate the opening and the ending. It's Bon Voyage. Bon Voyage is one of my favorite openings. It's in my top. I was gonna say, like, how many One Piece openings have there been? 27. It's in my top 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's in my top 10. I like that one. Bon Voyage is a good one. It's not as like high octane. It's like one of the more chill kind of dance vibe ones, and it's really nice. kind of not fitting for the Skypia arc that where it plays in, but I think it works for this special. I would rate it. I'd say it's a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. How about you?
You're doing it 1 out of 10. I'd say a 4 out of 5. It's nice, but it's no We Are.
Oh yeah, like We Are, and there are some great openings that come after this one too. And the ending, the family song is adorable. It's one of the insert songs from like the character single tracks that a lot of anime do, where they have like the voice actors do like an album as their characters and they sing a song. But this one has the entire Straw Hats singing about how they're more than friends, they're family. I don't remember if this was the ending for the last special too. It probably was, but this is a solid 8 out of 10. It's a great song. It really shows the singing chops of the Japanese voice cast. And there is an English version that was done for the dub that was inserted into a scene in the Skypia arc. So if you remember this scene where they're like having a little campfire with the wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the anime. They inserted that there. But yeah, I like the family song. It's nice. It's a good ending theme for the specials. Not bad. Did you did you rate the family at all, or did you think I've covered everything?
Yeah, you basically covered everything about that category.
All right, so the last thing is the fruit score. So how would we rate this special? I'm going to let you go first.
I'd rate it a 3.5 out of 5 Devil's Fruit. Like, yeah, it's not the best media to come out of One Piece, but it's a step above what we had to watch last time, especially some of the worst specials and movies we had to sit through.
Mm-hmm. And especially compared to the stuff you have said through your own podcast.
Oh, yeah.
This is definitely one of the more memorable specials. What I think One Piece end of the year television specials, the scene where they're trying to put on a show, but they all have their agendas with no cohesion and things fall into chaos. That scene is what I immediately think of when I think of these specials before anything else. Like when I was toying with the idea, I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait for him to see that one. And yeah, the villain's terrible. He's about as generic goes. He is like a villain you'd encounter in like the first town of a 120-hour RPG. He's that pathetic. He's that... he doesn't even have a real name. His name is the title. Yeah. And the worst part about it, his pet that has way more charisma than him doesn't have one.
Yes.
And his minion has a better name than him. It's the name of a toy. I'm going to give this a 6 elementary school plays out of 10 Phantom of the Operas. It's not by any stretch of the imagination the worst One Piece special. It's definitely better than many of the filler arcs. It's definitely better than the last special we watched by a country mile. Holy shit, that last one was forgettable as shit. But it's not bad. It's a solid 6, possibly a 7 because of the chaos in the beginning. But it kind of falls off once the villain's introduced. So yeah, I would not go higher than 6 by any means. All right, and I think that'll do it. If no one else has anything they want to add about this special.
Nah.
So thank you guys all so much for listening. Be sure to check us out on the rest of our actual podcast where we go through the manga, and we also go through the other movies and specials if you haven't seen those yet. Tune in next time for episode 68 of the podcast, where Austen and I will be going through movie 5, The Curse of the Curse of the Holy Sword. I think it's called. Let me go. I never remember what that movie is called. Not a good sign.
No.
Austen, I'm sorry. I think we're in for one of the worst of the movies.
Jesus. Oh, way to tease the audience, John.
The Cursed Holy Sword. So movie 5, The Cursed Holy Sword is next. I do not know if we will have a guest yet. Do not quote me on that. As of recording, we have not marked one down. But I know for the movie after this, we're going to have a guest for that one. So tune in next time. Until then, I've been John Mookie Ward Jam.
I've been Chad Peanut.
And remember, when binging the devil's fruit, make sure you practice first, and don't swallow in such a way that you would lose your voice. All right, have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And whatever you do, don't eat too much of it to end up like that chameleon. Thank you for binging The Devil's Fruit with us today. If you'd like to enhance your binging experience even further, for just $3 a month, not only do you get access to episodes 1 week before they go live for the public, you also get exclusive access to our commentary tracks for our One Piece anime movie special reviews on our Patreon. The review episodes themselves will always be free to all listeners, but if you want the commentary tracks, that's patreon.com/SuperBonusRound. Thanks for your support.